Welcome to All Things Chiropractic.
Welcome to another episode of All Things Chiropractic. I'm Paul Andrews.
I'm Dr. Mark Davini.
Okay, the episode today, I think people will find it interesting because it's something that most everyone uses every single day.
Most.
They're
yes.
exposed to it, at least, if not.
Oh,
I know,
live by it.
maybe not you.
Live by it. People live by it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you the question to start off our discussion.
Yeah.
Are you antisocial?
When you're in the room, I definitely am. No. Am I antisocial? I'm not allowed to be in the things that I do in life. Let's put it that way. I'm not a social person by nature, but how about you?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. Since we're talking about social media, I guess
Yeah, you're antisocial
one
media.
might say I'm antisocial
Yeah.
because I am not on social media.
Right.
I figure what
Hold
I
on.
had for dinner last night is not all that important.
Yeah. No. I don't think anyone believes you right now that you're not on any social media platforms. Now, Tools of Practice and All Things Chiropractic podcast, yes, we are. But
Right.
you,
Nope.
Mark Davini, individually are not.
Zero.
So what's great about that for me is I get to do anything I want, and you would have no idea what's going out there relative to you.
I do have my spies.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Here's an interesting thought, right?
Yeah.
Actually, an experience. So I was sitting in the bank with the bank manager for other reasons. And as she's going through this questionnaire, we're just chit-chatting, and my wife was with me too. And she looked at us and said, "What do you do for fun?" Right? And
Cricket.
So we started telling him some of the things. She goes, "Well, aren't you on social media?" I said, "No." She goes, "Then how can you have any fun?"
Right. How could you possibly?
This younger person, lower 30s to mid 30s at the most, could not conceive the idea that we didn't think social media was fun and that without it, I couldn't have any fun.
Well,
It's just a mindset.
Yeah, it is.
It's a real thing.
I mean,
out there,
before
is what we see.
TV, right? If you didn't have a radio, how do you get entertained with
Exactly.
a radio?
If you told
You know,
me,
back when you were
do
a
you watch
kid,
TV?
when it
Of
was
course
just
I
radio.
watch TV. No, but it was only black and white. But that's what I mean. If it was, there was just a difference in mindset that she could not believe, number one, that we weren't on social media, and number two, that we were able to have fun because we weren't on social media.
He's looking at me, and I'm half believing that he's on social media or not. I don't know. We'll see.
Go ahead. Everybody go out there and try and find me anywhere on social media.
Right.
That's the challenge.
Wait, don't I? There's so much stuff that I put out about him. He doesn't know. Don't do it.
And if there's anything negative coming from another source, please email me at.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, social media, we get our members always have questions for us about the compliant end of social media, as well as the effectiveness of social media. And I think that when you're looking at the effectiveness, if you're looking like a return on investment, if it's a business or something, I think that there's a lot of allure with social media because it can be free or very inexpensive to put yourself out there. But I also think it sort of depends on the type of business you have, how effective it might be in at least the short term.
Exactly. Social media has become the spinal screenings of today.
Ooh.
You used to go out there and, do these spinal screenings, and you might get 100 people to screen. And of the 100, 50 may have said, "Oh, I'm interested in coming in." And of the 50, 25 of them might actually show. And of the 25, another 12 might actually have gone through a report of findings. And of the 12, 3 actually started care. And of the 3 that started care, one of them stays under care. It was just one of those things where you say, okay, you're throwing everything out there to everybody with the hope of getting some return, hopefully larger than what I just described, but some return on your investment in time. But it is really just the modern day version of spinal screening that used to be a way of getting patients in the old days, right? But I mean, there's definitely good to social media. There's way you can educate your patients through social media. network with other professionals through social media, right? And they talk to each other. Are you having this problem in your office? Oh, tell me how great Mark and Paul are with tools of practice and all things chiropractic. You get to do all of that, right? Please do all that.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? A lot of people might be connected to people they wouldn't otherwise be connected to. Grandparents with their grandkids, old schoolmates.
Oh, it's
whatever.
killed the high school reunion, right? Facebook has
Oh.
killed the high school reunion concept.
I went to my 50th high school reunion, and half the people knew.
20 years
Stop
ago?
it. Stop it. Most people already knew what was going on with most of the other people.
Except
oh,
you.
Yeah, I saw you on Facebook, and they didn't know a thing about me.
So did you come in as an astronaut who was a billionaire?
Yeah. I gave them one small step for me.
Yeah, exactly.
One giant leap for everyone else, right? But that's what I mean. There's some good there for sure. I mean, you can teach through it. They gave you, especially during COVID, there were a lot of avenues that came about that you're able to use social media to get points across or make presentations or whatever. And then, of course, research and collaboration. There are people who literally are in touch with other researchers halfway around the world, and it's all done through social media in one form or another. So it's not that it's a bad thing per se. There's a lot of great stuff.
Well, speaking of research, you can do a lot of market research easily through social media. Did you know that YouTube, there used to be a time when YouTube did not have a skip ad button?
Oh,
there was a time.
God. Yeah.
And when originally the skip ad button was developed, YouTube was not too thrilled about wanting to implement it right away. But what happens is they learned very quickly that when someone didn't skip the ad, the market research was instantly done. Why did they not? What was it about this ad? What was it about the content? So when you skip an ad, you're actually giving a lot of information to YouTube, believe it or not, about yourself and your behaviors.
I guess I never thought of it that way. And it's not like I haven't watched a YouTube, but I don't sign into YouTube. I don't like or dislike a YouTube.
If you're using it on your phone, sorry, buddy.
I know.
You're there.
And part of me thinks exactly that, Paul. I'm not on social media, but I am on social media by existing in this world today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you carry that, I'm going to say phone loosely, but you carry that phone around.
Yeah.
You're carrying your whole life.
Yeah. It has more computing power than the Apollo 11 moon shot where we landed on the moon.
Did we, though? Did we land on the moon? That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
Did they leave the cameraman behind when they left the moon? Because there's shots of that, isn't there? I don't know.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, boy, is it ever.
Yeah, was it in a stage room, somewhere else,
So let's talk about some of the negative things. Like, I think what's interesting, if it's true, because I learned it on social media, which, by the way, not everything on social media is gospel truth, but people like Zuckerberg don't let their kids on Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call it. Like, they don't let them, and they have screen time limits and stuff.
What does that say?
What does it say about a company that, from what I understand, they try to target's probably a strong word, but target kids or focus on getting new users and kids involved, but yet
they're not limiting kids the way they limit their own kids.
No, well, that's a different story, I guess. But
it's crazy, and it's so consuming to people. I lived in Boston, in the city, so commonly would use public transportation, subways, and you'd sit there at the subway, and it would be funny. Again, my wife and I would stand there, and we would look down the subway car, and everybody's face was buried in a phone. And most of the time, they were just scrolling. They weren't even reading. They were just scrolling, looking for something to catch their eye. Just whatever, and it's like, oh my God. The days of interacting with anybody are gone.
Have you seen, I think it was on Netflix, The Social Media Dilemma?
No.
All right. It made me want to throw my phone out, put it through a shredder. But it was very interesting. I would highly recommend people watch it. And the psychology and manipulation behind what happens with your phone and your interaction. For instance, one of very easy to remember for me. What was it? No, just kidding. So it was if it's free, you're the product, right?
There you go.
Literally, the stuff that's free isn't free. You are the product in one way, shape, or another. My wife and I turned off most of our notifications once we saw this program, because notifications in themselves are a way of modifying your behavior to get you back into, like when you're scrolling through. It was interesting. You're scrolling through reels or videos, or even just, what the posts are. The algorithms will learn what you like, but also what you don't like. And they'll give you a little bit of what you don't like to keep you engaged, so that you will continue for this heads up ads, they call it, basically, where and everything's, from the back end of things, from what I understand, the cost comes from how much attention your ad or your promotion or your post gets.
I mean, this is so scary. So if you were to use a device like Alexa.
I don't use that.
No, because it's a listening device.
So our phones are probably listening.
Right. Our phone, at least, but you consciously sign on to that one. So I think you and I were sitting somewhere and we are talking about something, and we didn't have anything like an Alexa, just our phones around. But all of a sudden, I started getting advertisements for the thing we were talking about. And it made me wonder, how did it hear that we were talking about that particular item? So,
unless you put your phone in a Faraday bag, it's over.
It's over. So, and then they take that information and then they manipulate you more so through social media, because now they have all these different outlets, platforms to reach you, as opposed to just an email or text. Where before, email itself was like the be-all, end-all. Now you get so many emails, you don't even pay attention to that. And then text became the be-all, end-all. And now you're getting all this crap through your text. So we're back to social media again.
Well, and let's think about it from the chiropractic perspective. One, as a doctor or a staff person, your excessive use of it, I can tell you that I don't use it a ton, but the times that I get sucked down this rabbit hole of using it, I get off of it and I'm like, what just happened to like that hour? Like I don't feel good about myself for spending so much wasted time on my phone doing nothing really when it comes down to it.
Yeah. You found out what somebody else had for dinner, what movie they saw, what their kids were doing that day. But I'm not talking about people you really know. It's so random. It's almost like that. What do they call it? FOMO, fear of missing out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is so afraid that something's happening in the world around them and that they're going to miss out. So they keep scrolling through all the different platforms and trying to find that one thing. So, okay, I know that. Okay, I know that. And in their minds, they're having fun.
So when we look at this from a chiropractic perspective, Doc, right? Mm-hmm. We've got members saying, well, I want to put up my, someone gave me a good review and I want to put up a video of them coming into the office and getting adjusted. Right. I really had a success with this kid and ear infections. I want to put that on social media.
Right. Well, two things. One of them is privacy is a big concern, right? But I'll preface everything I'm going to say with this quote from Erin Burry. Don't say anything online you wouldn't want plastered on a billboard with your face on it. And that's the truth. So when a patient says something about you and you respond to that, it's forever and it's for always. So let's back up a little bit.
Is that a song?
Yeah, forever and always. Let's back up a little bit. You can't respond in anything other than a generic statement. Social media in a healthcare setting is a one-way street. They can call you the worst names on this earth, and you cannot address that one thing directly. If somebody were to say, oh, that was the worst office I went to, he doesn't care, and this and blah, 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 the best you can say is, in my office, we strive to give the best care possible and that everybody is important to us, but you cannot answer the review or whatever.
Right. Confirming they're a patient even, right? So
you can't
even if you want
they're a patient.
If you want to really respond to it, pick up the phone and call them
Right.
off social media.
I'm not sure people know how to use the phone anymore.
Right.
But, you cannot respond to it. It's a one-way street. And if let's give the perfect example of how privacy was preached. This one office used Indeed as a company to help hire staff. All of a sudden, they get 2 Indeed certificates addressed to the office, but under the name of 2 patients, Medicare patients to make it worse. They called up and said, why are these coming to us and why do they have our patient's name on it? They said, well, we went on your website. They do data mining, went on the website, had the reviews. And the patient's reviews had the full names on them. So the data mining algorithm picked that up and sent these certificates. So then the office says, well, take those names out. Okay, the problem is we already sold that list to somebody else who does the actual certificate for us, issues the certificates. So they call that person. That's okay, but we share our list with so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
And so-and-so. This went on to the point where it's impossible to remove those 2 patients' names from the internet, which is a breach in HIPAA. You have now indicated that those patients are patients of that office, both on your website and at every other platform possible by this point in time. So HIPAA becomes a big issue with social media. One-way street, people. One-way street.
Plus, if you start responding to these things, it's a black hole. I mean, it's a tunnel that you'll never dig out of because, someone's going to bear in and dig into their side of the story. And it's just like, if you've ever done that on social media, especially with like politics or something, forget it. It's over.
It keeps going back and forth because there's some things you can't change. You never use full names. In fact, barely use first names because the bottom line is it's not just revealing their identity online, but it's revealing enough information where someone can assemble their identity online. You don't use the faces of people under 18.
Right.
This is stuff that people aren't aware of because under the real normal everyday use of social media, it's what you do. Oh, here's my kids playing soccer and blah, blah, blah. Right. But we're talking about a healthcare office that is bound by HIPAA.
Now, again, it's not all negative. I mean, there's a lot of very useful tools and you can really leverage social media in your office for a lot of good things. It's just there are those caveats and warnings that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah, and the message is exactly what I just said. Recognize that whatever rule you follow as an individual, whatever rules you follow as an individual don't necessarily apply as a healthcare office. So you have to have a social media guideline that tells you exactly what you should and should not be able to do. Like you can't directly answer a negative review. You can't put full names on your website. You can't put anything on your website with a patient without some type of release. And even with the release, you can't put the faces of children on social media or any other platform that's on the internet. Because what's the rule about the internet? Once it's there forever.
So I have to bring this up because, for me, my personal taste is putting up.
Do we have to? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Putting up videos of chiropractic adjustments, I don't think are super flattering to the profession or a new wannabe chiropractic patient. Like, that's just me, I guess. There's like a lot of them.
Oh, I know. And it's like, oh, look, nothing up my sleeve. Crack. You don't see dentists drilling teeth as a way of getting new patients, do you?
Especially like, the captions like humdinger and ring popper and like all this like very aggressive.
Oh, for some reason or other, we think that actually looks good. And
I don't know how.
Terrible.
I don't know how.
An adjustment looks terrible to people. So it's not about how you do what you do. It's why you do what you do. That's what should bring people into your office. The methodology is so varied anyway, but the methodology should be what they learn once they get in.
I guess maybe it is the social media outwardly facing personality of that doctor, right? And maybe those that resonate with that kind of video is the kind of patient they want. So I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying for me, coming from like the massage therapist, like, the soft music playing and those quiet, subtle strokes of massage, like soothing, you know what I mean? And then you see these like ring ding,
Yeah, bada boom, and then the patient gets up and they're wobbling a little bit. Oh man, that felt good.
Yeah, right. I mean, okay. But again, I guess whatever's effective for you and is your flavor
it sets
taste.
a tone. It sets a tone that's what chiropractic is all the time for everybody.
Well, I mean, so from that 10,000 feet, I can see how, doc, that might irritate you. But for that doctor who wants those types of patients, it's working for them. They're branding themselves that way, I guess, like.
There we go. Forget about it.
Hey, listen, it's social media, I guess, has a personal flair to it like anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Be more concerned about getting them to believe you're a doctor rather than a trickster, or that you've got this little thing you do that is supposed to help. Let them understand the why.
Well,
not the how so much until they become a patient. And then it's all about explaining the how. But getting somebody on social media, oh man, it's just so counterproductive to us as a profession when you put adjustments online. And by the way, people, legally, there's no such thing as a gentle adjustment if it's done osseously or manually. It's all the same. You may put the word gentle in your notes, but it doesn't exist legally. An adjustment is an adjustment is an adjustment. You may be good at them, you may be bad at them, but there's no such thing as a gentle adjustment if you're doing a high velocity, low amplitude thrust anywhere in the spine.
Good point.
Yeah.
So I just want to sort of separate the platforms a little bit to talk about them. So
educate me.
Yeah. You'd be more of a Facebook guy if you were on social media. Now you can read into why that is.
Okay.
Can you even guess why you might be more of a Facebook guy?
I have no clue. Give me a hint.
Would it have anything to do with the demographic of your age? Probably. Just saying.
I'm not going there. Okay.
Where Instagram is more of a younger crowd, and even younger than that now is like TikTok. So, and again, I'm no
speaking English?
Yeah, I'm no expert in social media. I'm on some of them. I use them mostly for business or to remind me of somebody's birthday, I guess. That's the other. See, you're missing out on the pressure of etiquette. If I have I'll put friend in air quotes on social media, and I don't wish them a happy birthday, I could be ostracized by the rest of that friend group because I didn't recognize them.
Well, I'm gonna quote what was that movie with Matthew Broderick, where War Games.
War Games, okay.
War Games, right? What was the final message?
I don't know.
The only way to win is not to play.
Yeah. That's probably the whole message for social media, right? Because once you're
right in there. Once you step into that arena, you're fair game to everybody.
But it's also how you wish them a happy birthday, right? Because if you do like the Dwight Schrute thing on The Office, it's your birthday period. That's not really celebrating that person's birthday. You have to have.
Oh yeah.
But if it's only one exclamation point, that's not enough. That's really just a period in social media language.
Wait, I'm writing all this down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And emojis would really help and make sure that the celebratory and make a big splash. Yeah.
Well, you just had a birthday. I just brought you a present.
He did. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
How's this for age? He hands it to me and he says, I might have given this to you before. Like, okay.
I had to preface it like, it's one of my favorite gifts and I've given it to other people. I don't know. Was Paul one? I don't know.
Like literally I have 5 or 6 of them already. I was kidding. But but that's a thought that counts, right? That's what
You're just full of air. You'll see what I mean when I give it to you.
That's what they say. But then also there's, if you're going to use words more than anything, then X or what was Twitter or maybe even Facebook. But if you're going to use video, then Instagram and or TikTok or who knows what's out there now with these really younger kids use, I don't know. But at the end of the day, you have to say to yourself as a practice and as a doctor, not just what am I putting out there, but what about my staff? What is my staff, even if it's personally posted, but now, as we all do, you start to get friendly with your patients and the staff now are connected with the patients on social media.
So, there it goes right there. Do you have a policy that staff can't talk about their job on social media? And if you are friendly with patients, as long as that should be a rare thing, because the bottom line is the relationship between you and your patient should be more parent to child than friend to friend. That's how you heal people, is to give them guidance and direction, sometimes for things they don't want to do or think they don't want to
and
do.
separate. If you want to have a very personal social media account, have that and have only the connections and the visibility with the people that you want, but then have one for your professional use that looks like it's personal, but it really is individually professional, because then you can have your business pages and all that. Right. But even your staff, it's a conversation to have when you're hiring them, and a conversation to have with your policy is to say, if you're deeply entrenched in political discussion and you're deeply on one side or the other, you have to understand as a staff person that may likely alienate a whole group of patients that may either want to come in full of spit and vinegar and want to talk to you about it, which is never a good idea.
Never.
Or I'm never going back there because so-and-so supports so-and-so, and there's no way I could ever, patronize that office ever again.
Oh, and again, maybe a final point on staff anyway is that if they're doing social media on your office computer, and this just happened the other day with a client, on your office computer, it could be hacked through social media. Now you have to worry about not just the security in your office, but the security in your office reaching out to these social media sites. And this particular office got breached because of a social media site.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole security risk analysis
should be no staff or
but
whatever.
But even small things like selfies, your staff taking selfies at lunch and behind them, what is behind them? What can someone zoom in and see or not see?
Do you have a whiteboard with patients' names on it? This is stuff that is all part of the policy and should not be allowed.
Well, what's funny?
Control it.
This is sort of off topic with social media, but I just find it amazing. So this was a while back when you lived in Boston, and I was walking back to either my car or the train or something. I don't know. And I walked by a massage franchise. I won't say the name of it, but it's a very popular one.
In my building. Yeah.
It was not in your building, but it was like across the street from your building. Yeah. The reason I'm not going to say the name is this is how it was set up. I'm walking by, and there was, floor to ceiling glass on the ground floor of this building. And the shades were open, and it was like the break room of the massage therapist. And there's a big monitor that shows the schedule for the day. So I'm looking at all the different therapists and who, first and last names, who they're going to see and what they're going to get. And I'm saying to myself, that isn't really that great of an idea here to walk by and be able to see this.
Stand there writing names down.
Yeah.
I love
Just
it.
take a picture with my own phone.
Love it.
I mean, I could have taken a picture with my phone, posted it up on my account, shared it with the world, and who's at fault? I don't work there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No. But this is the stuff that you have to be mindful of. All the good and all the caution.
Yeah.
I won't even use the word bad. All the caution. But you do have to recognize, maybe as a closing thought, you do have to recognize the strain to your privacy and the impact social media has and plays in that.
Well, I think the message of nothing in life is free. So if you're using social media to help promote yourself or your office, know that you're giving up something. You're giving up some of your privacy, obviously. You're giving up some of your control, because how people use that, share that, respond to it, comment to it, all of that's outside of your control. So just know that. I'm not saying that you don't get a good return on your investment if you're using social media to leverage, for advertising and marketing and all that stuff. But there is a lot that you're going to give up in certain ways.
Well, I'm going to give you this one closing thought. I know there are people out there that are saying, you told me you're not on social media, yet you're talking on a podcast.
That's real. Yeah. Okay. Which does promote on social media.
Right. Which is all things chiropractic, not marked to be.
Right.
So,
right.
But it is true that even in ways that you don't intend, social media infiltrates your life.
And if you want to know more about Dr. Mark Davini, just keep listening because I give you little bits here and there. Just like leak it out slowly so he doesn't notice.
It's like the most ineffective social media you could have. Right?
Yeah. How dare you? Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of All Things Chiropractic. I'm Paul Andrews.
I'm Dr. Mark Davini. That's with a K.
I'll give you his private account.
Thanks for listening to All Things Chiropractic. We'd love to hear from you. Visit allthingschiropractic.com with comments, episode ideas, or questions. Or connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at All Things Chiropractic Podcast. Be sure to join Dr. Mark Davini and Paul Andrews next time for another episode of All Things Chiropractic.